And Herb Brooks. Well, referee Ron Hogarth in the middle of your picture, despite his Blue Jays having been eliminated today, still managed to smile for our Sports Channel cameras. Shane Heyer on his left, and on the right of your screen, Ryan Bozak, the linesman for tonight's game. Only the third game in his National Hockey League career for 21-year-old Tim Shovelday. And the Nets tonight for the Detroit Red Wings. Started twice last year, lost both games because of a back problem suffered by Greg Steffen. And the questionable goaltending of Glenn Hadlin. He'll get the start tonight. Kelly Rudy in the nets for the Los Angeles Kings, making his third straight start this season. Mentioned Los Angeles is 1-1. Detroit 0-2. The Red Wings wrapping up this three-game trip to start the season at center ice. Corey Robertson bumped from behind. Robertson, another one of the newcomers in the Detroit lineup, number 14, battling for a loose puck, and picked up and dropped right into the Detroit zone on target. The Red Wings forced back here. Lee Norwood moving it up to Torrey Robertson. Jay Miller picks up the checking job. Meantime, Jimmy Nill on right wing unloads one that was deflected by Tim Waters. Puck ends up behind that L.A. goal. This is Jim Nill for Detroit. Nill and Tom Laidlaw battling for it. Finally, the Kings, trying to clear the zone, succeed as it's backhanded out of there by Craig Duncanson. Casper comes out on the player change for L.A. as the Red Wings force the Kings back. Joey Closer into forecheck. Now Laidlaw chasing the puck over on right wing. And one of those things that do happen. Two players from the same team collide, and Rudy is tested close in, equal to the test. Has it in the catching glove after making the stick save.
And Jakes, if they're going to check Eiserman, they're going to have to do a better job of it. They're going to put Casper on, and that's going to be his main function this evening. But he's a guy that seems to find those little seams, those little holes, and he's got that puck like it seems to follow. And Stevie Casper's got his work cut out for him this evening.
Sure does. Eiserman always a handful after two Kings collide. Loose puck, and who should be right there but Eiserman?
When you look at Stevie Eiserman, I think that they say he's in the top three players, but nobody takes his talent and does more with it. Nobody. That includes Mr. Gretzky. This guy is unbelievable.
Eiserman, number 19, winning the draw. Gerard Gallant over on the left side. Couldn't get a stick on it, however. Joey Closer plays the right wing on this line for Detroit. Meantime, the Kings come to center. Tonelli moving up on left wing as the puck is dumped in. Down the boards. Barry Robinson here on the left side of the Los Angeles defense. Can't control it. Casper put it back in the Detroit zone. Now they feed it out to Eiserman. Went to the left side, and Gallant couldn't handle the pass. This is Tonelli relaying one rink wide. Crowder to Casper, steps over the Detroit line, drops it back neatly. The drive by Duchesne right on. Good stop by Shovelday, the rookie, in the Red Wing net. Now out at center, Duchesne for Los Angeles. Gave it to Casper, up to Tonelli. Tonelli unable to go anywhere in that Detroit zone as Lee Norwood tied him up neatly. This is Michael Connell for the Red Wings, up to Eiserman. Eiserman over center ice. He likes to dump it in wide of the Los Angeles goal. There's Gallant playing it back in the net. Eiserman ready for it. Had a man open in front. Couldn't center it in time. Eiserman once more dances out of the corner. Puts it in front. Off Rudy's stick, but he's able to cover and hold on for a faceoff. Detroit getting the early advantages here, but there is no score between the Red Wings and the Kings. You look at the Detroit Red Wing bench, Herb. They've scratched 5 players from their lineup tonight, starting the season with 5 extras on this road trip. That's never easy, is it?
No, it's not. It's a difficult chance, but sometimes at the early season, Jigs, you've got to let people play themselves into a job or out of a job. And you can wait a little long, and people that you know that have had a pretty good career.
And they have Zombo moving across the line. A bullet just wide of Rudy's goal crease. Ends up all the way back in the Detroit zone.
Which I thought was very important as Timmy Shovelday come up with a good save right away to get into this game. If that shot, the first shot would have got by him there, he would have been a little shaky. So you always want to see, get that young goalkeeper involved and feeling good about himself as early as possible.
L.A. moving in. Dave Taylor was knocked down heavily. In the meantime, the Red Wings over the line. And the shot blocked by McSorley. McSorley went shoulder to shoulder. Tying up Mark Habscheid. Scramble in front. Rudy looks behind him. The puck out of his sight. Referee Ron Hogarth knows where it is. Blew the whistle. We'll get a face-off deep in the Los Angeles zone. Dave Taylor back in the Los Angeles lineup tonight. Got a rude welcome. Down at the other end, Marty McSorley is playing defense this season, Herb, throwing his weight around.
Well, as he's back there, they feel he's going to get a little bit more ice time as a defenseman as opposed to being a forward. We're also going to see Marty McSorley get some time on the point on a power play, and people are saying, wait a minute. But he has done a lot better job than I thought he would do. So I think Tommy Webster, Ricky Wilson see something in him. They're going to go to him quite a bit. He is a leader. Big, strong guy. 6'3", 230 pounds, and he comes to play every night.
Defenseman Jim Waters moves out of your picture. And there's number 99 squaring to face off. LA getting the draw. This is Waters up the right side. The relay out of the reach of Gretzky, however. The Red Wings set up in their own zone. They have Klima handling the puck now. He has Barr with him here on the right side. Klima moves in. Rudy the save. The collision. Rudy has held the puck. You see the goal is off the moorings. Kelly Rudy shaken up a little bit in that game against Edmonton last evening. Peter Klima with a good scoring chance for Detroit.
This guy, Jiggs, when he's playing at the top of his games and if he's got his personal life in order, he can be one of the top 10 or 12 forwards in the National Hockey League. And he likes to come on up that off wing. He's a right-hander, likes to come off that left side, pull it and go. And he's got some talent. Big talent.
Sure does. L.A. after the puck here. Waters turned it over momentarily. Now Lindholm moves it out to Gretzky on center ice. Gretzky crossed the line, an opening, and a shot turned aside by Shuffle. It bangs out of the air. Will it count? Yes, it will. Referee Ron Hogarth indicates that the stick made contact with the puck below shoulder level, and Bob Kadowski gets credit for the goal. Gretzky setting him up 1 point closer to Gordie Howe's mark.
Well, I tell you, this is something. Watch Gretzky as he comes. He goes to the inside, cuts back, and the defenseman should automatically move to the inside and invite him to the outside so he's not caught. And Kadowski here, I think we're going to ship him over to Oakland for the next round on that one. They have pretty good wood on that thing.
Great hand-eye coordination as he ducks the rebound out of the air by Tim Chevrolet. 3:29 of the opening period. Los Angeles leads 1-0.
Kadowski's out of Yale University. I didn't know they were that good in the Ivy League. But he's had a good camp, this kid.
And he gets the chance to play with Wayne Gretzky tonight. And if he continues to do that type of thing, he'll play there regularly, perhaps. Eiserman is over the line now. The captain of the Red Wings fell. Nobody near him. The puck is cleared back inside the Detroit zone. That's Doug Huda chasing it. Kelly into forecheck for Los Angeles. The puck ends up in the center ice zone. Robinson playing on one side of the L.A. defense. Steve Duchesne on the other as O'Connell puts the puck deeper in the Kings' territory. A little less than 16 minutes remaining in the opening period. Stevie Casper. Robinson, cross-ice pass. And Kelly Rudy had to steer the shot by Jason side. Robinson walking a tightrope, living dangerously with a pass like that. Larry Robinson gets away momentarily from Gallant. Still can't get a step. Now he does and feeds the puck to Casper. Off his stick into the Detroit zone. This is Koser. Joey Koser will pass to Zombo, then back to Koser and on to Chason. That's through the defensive work of Laidlaw. Now Robitaille backhands it into the Detroit territory. Zombo going back of the net. Nichols right on him. The Red Wings almost gave it away. So the Kings tighten up in the center ice zone. Laidlaw, quick pass to Bernie Nichols, and went off his stick. Jim Chevrolet handling the puck now. Moves it around, up the center, and Waters takes over there. To Laidlaw, Neal goes into forecheck. Laidlaw using the right wing boards. Here's Casper to Nichols. To Robitaille on the left side. He shoots, hits the outside of the goal. That's a mesh wig-wagging there. The fans thought it was in. Red Wings able to clear one off the boards the length of the ice. Rudy handling the puck, decides to leave it for Laidlaw. Both teams making some changes. That's in defenseman Tom Laidlaw uses the boards to move it out into the center ice area. Just over 14 minutes to play. The Red Wings dump it down into the Los Angeles zone, and that'll be an icing as Waters goes back to touch up. The goal by Kadowski at the 3:29 mark of this opening period has Los Angeles on top, 1-0. Bob Kadowski, number 37, has the goal, and playing with Gretzky will be a test. We asked him about it, what he has to do to stay there.
Yeah, it's certainly a big thrill for me. Last year when I got called up under Art Patork, I played a couple games with Wayne, and it was a big shock back then. I mean, playing with him, and anybody that plays in his line is expected to do, great things, and there's a lot of pressure on you. You got to try to overcome that and just play your own game. I mean, you're not going to score every time you're out there with them. People kind of expect that sometimes, but you have to go out there and be yourself. And Wayne, he's really good about it. When I first came up and started playing with him last year, he just play your own game. Don't worry about what I'm going to do. He goes, you get the shot, you take it. Don't always look to pass me. So he really makes you comfortable when you're with him out there on the ice.
And that's so important, isn't it, Coach? To feel comfortable when you're on the ice.
I think anybody feel comfortable with Mr. Gretzky. Earlier, Jigs, when I was talking about Iceman, I said, he does more with his ability than anybody. A different word for that, I could say, maybe overachieve. And he does overachieve. I mean, he's a good hockey player, very good hockey player. But with his perseverance, he just brings it up to the notch of some people that maybe have just a little bit more natural ability.
A moment ago, as the Red Wings were being hemmed in their own territory, John Bird took a man down, goes off for hooking. The penalty is called at the 6:06 mark. Kudelski is back out there with Gretzky and Tonelli on this power play. Robinson and Duchesne on the point. This is Gretzky handling the puck. Now 10 points separating Gretzky and a new all-time NHL scoring record for most points in a career. Gretzky plays it into the corner. Tonelli knocks down. Here's Gretzky. Works from back of the net centered. Shane couldn't handle it.
This is what Detroit will do to Gretzky. They're not going to let him set up behind the net, and if at all possible, they'll try to force him out to his backhand.
The Gretzky watch is on again early in the season. Duchesne turning. Steve Duchesne to John Tonelli. Kudelski, here on the left wing, was knocked away, and he's able to recover with a pass to Gretzky. Duchesne steps across the line through some traffic, dished it off neatly to Kudelski. Centers. Here's Gretzky. Shoots. Cheveldae the save, and the Red Wings cleared out quickly. 53 seconds remaining in Bird's hooking penalty. Los Angeles leading 1-0. Duchesne dancing on those skates, comes over center, on into the Detroit zone with a pass to Robitaille. Luke Robitaille centers in front. Cheveldae kicks that aside. Duchesne's rebound, and Cheveldae has it in the catching glove. Los Angeles getting lots of opportunities with his bad advantage.
Well, there's no question. We keep watching the emergence and the growth of Steve Duchesne, Jigs. He had a tremendous year last year, fifth overall in the NHL voting for defenseman. And here's another guy that they're counting on for the future, Jigs.
They expect him in the lineup on Wednesday when the New York Islanders come calling. That'll be interesting. The former Ranger against the Islanders. Patrick Flatley has to be in the mind of Barry Beck to a degree. His career ended really with that hit that Flatley laid on him in the playoffs a few years back.
Tell me about it.
Oh, remember it well, don't you? So do I.
It might have been a series if Mr. Beck was in there. And all due respect to the great New York Islanders, defending Cup champions, he took them in overtime in that fifth game, Jigs, as you recall, and Flatley really laid a check on Barry Beck. And that hurt us. His loss really hurt us, no question.
But Beck is back. Flatley, after a serious knee injury, is back. But that's all coming up Wednesday night. Meantime, Dave Taylor, with 18 seconds remaining in the power play, leads the Kings into center ice. Back of the play, penalty call as Yzerman was grabbed, and we'll have a penalty against the Los Angeles Kings. Kings up 1-0 and a goal by Bob Keldowski. This penalty to McSorley will be an interference call. Some questioning of referee Ron Hogarth on the call by Dave Taylor. But McSorley goes to the penalty box.
This is everybody's so conscious of Steve Yzerman, and he's always moving his legs. He's always trying to break his check. He's going to, cause some penalties on that thing. And that was just, again, the perseverance of Stevie Yzerman. Just working hard, always trying to get away from check, get back to help out. And McSorley tried a little pick on him and tried to spring his forwards loose and take advantage of the last 16 seconds on the power play. But again, was unable to properly execute it.
Teams are at 5 aside, but only momentarily. In 10 seconds, John Bird's penalty will have expired, and Detroit will go to the power play. Jason handling the puck at his own blue line for the Red Wings. Gretzky into forecheck. Set up O'Connell in the opposite corner. Right back to Chason. Sadowski picked up the forechecking goal. Detroit, 6 men against 5. That includes the goalkeepers on the ice. And here is Yzerman. Goes to the left side to Gallant. He's bumped by Laidlaw. Yzerman moves over. They moved it back to the net. Trying to get something set up there. Bernie Federko, wearing number 42, moves out in front of Rudy, but they can't get the puck to him. Laidlaw picks up the checking on Federko as the Red Wings handled it at the line. They get it to Yzerman, into Gallant. Again, Federko went to the front of the net, now has to peel off into the corner. Set it back to Gallant. Gerard Gallant to Chason. He shoots Rudy, the pad save. Big rebound, comes right back to Chason. Vaults it into the corner, and Laidlaw gets to it for Los Angeles. Up to Kudelski. Bob Kudelski had it knocked loose. Here's Yzerman. Gretzky knocked him down. Hooked the puck loose momentarily, and Federko takes over. Bernie Federko wheeling back of that net. Still has the good wheels. The former St. Louis Blues played his entire career there until the trade to Detroit in the offseason. Here he is again. L.A. in that box defense sets it up well, but they feed Yzerman, and the shot blocked by Laidlaw. Laidlaw and Yzerman go to the corner together. Stevie Wonder for the Red Wings. Got it to O'Connell, and he's checked. Down the ice comes Gretzky. Has a man moving up with him. It's Kudelski. Gretzky handles it to Kudelski. One time, and it scores! It's a shorthanded goal for the Los Angeles Kings. They're up 2-0.
Jigs, what can you say? That rookie out of Yale has got a hot hand, and he's had a tremendous training camp, scoring 4 goals in about 8 games. And again, everything he's shooting is finding a way. Gretzky, vintage Gretzky, getting possession of the offensive blue line, cuts across and waits for trailers, and someone's got to go at him right away. Timmy Chevrolet should have been out, standing up a little bit more. But again, give some credit to Kudelski, who one-times it. He's got a heavy shot, Jigs. That's what they like about him. Heavy shot, works well in traffic. He's got a pretty good feel for the game.
Yeah, he is showing that all right. You know, the magic in the playoffs was a kid by the name of Chris Contos. Now the 89-90 season begins, and L.A. may have found the winger they've been looking for to play with Gretzky, and the person is Bob Kudelski. That's his 3rd goal of the season. Red Wings come knocking at the door, and Burr's shot is turned aside. Robitaille breaks over center ice. 3-on-2 as they hit the Detroit line. Moving in is Robinson. Gets tripped up before he can get the shot away. Dave Barr tripped up in the center ice area. Dave Taylor got a piece of him.
You could see that almost going to unfold, that shorthanded goal, because Detroit's power play was out too long. When they're out long, the other penalty-killing team, when they change so fast with their pressure, and you can attack a tired power play team.
Robitaille unloaded one, but referee Ron Hogarth has an elbowing penalty to hand out here. Right in the middle of your picture, the lady with her hand up to her mouth now, that's Bob Kudelski's mother, Lorraine. And to her right, on the left of your picture, that's his dad, Richard. They're here to watch their son play for the Kings and have to be very, very pleased with what they've seen as he has taken the L.A. Kings to a 2-0 lead. Taylor is off for elbowing. Penalty called at the 10:26 mark. Detroit on the power play, and Chason shot. Can't save. Rudy flicking the left leg out in front of it. Now Federko gets bumped by Laidlaw. And out of the corner, and clearing it down the ice, Mike Allison. Chason quickly to Gallant, gets over the line. Waters got a piece of him, piece of the puck as well. The Kings clear it out. At center ice, Allison twisting and turning, playing a little keep away, ragging the puck, and then dumps it in. L.A. in the middle of a player change. Braziler comes out to pick up one side of the defense, McSorley on the other. And the Detroit power play, McKegney, Klima, and Federko. Bad pass in the center ice area. The puck ends up deep in the L.A. zone. McSorley taking it from Rudy, but can't move it up the boards. Here's Federko. Centered. There will be a penalty here. A tripping penalty as Detroit tried to get set up in the Los Angeles end of the ice. They've got a penalty called, and with the score, Los Angeles 2 and Detroit 1. Tony McKegney took the penalty for the Red Wings. A tripping call, so the clubs are at 5 aside. That comes right back to the blue line. Katsopoulos with a shot that changed direction. In 20 seconds, Dave Taylor will be out of the penalty box. Kings up 2-0. Rudy in a collision. He went out of the net. and collided heavily with the Detroit player, Mark Habscheid. Hear the reaction of the fans. Kings get set up down. The Detroit into the ice. This is McSorley. Frazier playing it around the boards. Nichols puts it back of the net. Norwood for Detroit. Can't clear it out. This is Peter Frazier. Frazier knocked off balance. They hold it in. McSorley at the blue line. Centers. That's off the stick. Recovered in the corner. Nichols to McSorley. Into Taylor. He gets bumped. Nelly had gone back of the net. Unable to pick up a loose puck, however. And Habscheid clears it the length of the ice. 45 seconds left now in McKechnie's penalty time. Los Angeles with the man advantage have Robinson out on the ice. They started to make a change. Couldn't complete it. Now do, but Gretzky gets checked at the blue line. This is Zombo. Zombo can't get through the traffic. Robinson moves one around to Steve Duchesne. Right back to Robinson. Robinson lead pass off Keldelsky's stick. And Chason gets back. Using the boards, but can't clear the zone with it. They feed it to Robinson. Back it goes for Duchesne. Across to Gretzky. Gretzky centering one. Oh, that skipped off the stick and wide. Robinson unable to make the play at the Detroit line, and up the ice comes Burr. Teams at 6 aside again. Just over 6 minutes to play in the opening period at Los Angeles. Keldelsky feeding a neat pass into center ice to Robitaille. Gretzky trails him, and Robitaille is pumped into the boards by Chason. Detroit up with the puck. Across the line with it is McKechnie. Couldn't get it through the defense. O'Connell drops back. Mike O'Connell plays it out into center ice. Kings take over again. Waters down the boards to Gretzky. Saw him dump it into the Detroit zone. The Kings into forecheck, but it's cleared right back out again.
It's the type of game Detroit doesn't want to play. They want to be a little tighter. They've got to get the next goal, because if they fall 3 behind, Jakes, they had to alter their whole game plan. Even though they got 7 goals up in Calgary, they don't like to play that game night after night.
Now, they want to keep the goals against down. Catch-up hockey is always tough, especially on the road. And here they are, opening on the road again. The Circus in the Joe Louis Arena just now.
They had a hard time last year. I think they went 0-5 before they got the things back in order.
That's Steve Casper into the corner for John Tonelli. He draws the attention of the Red Wings defense. See the work going on in the boards. Bang, bang, bang. Bruce Crowder got hit. Delayed penalty call. Crowder knocked off balance again. Rudy goes to the Los Angeles bench, and finally Detroit gets control of the puck. And they'll be short-handed again with 4 minutes and 48 seconds remaining in this opening period. The Los Angeles Kings have a 2-0 lead. Both goals have been scored by Bob Keldelsky. Now a double minor penalty to Joey Koser. He gets 2 minutes for cross-checking, 2 for unsportsmanlike conduct, and that has really upset the Detroit bench. You saw the reaction a moment ago, and now Koser over in the penalty box.
Well, Joey, he's getting a little more ice time this year, and he's playing on the right side with Stevie Yzerman. Koser is a little better hockey player than people give him credit for. He logs an awful lot of penalty minutes. There's no question about it. Probert broke his record a couple years ago. But Koser has got some type of talent. But what he's got to do is obviously have sort of control enthusiasm. Take the hit, give a hit, but stay away from the talking penalty, especially you're down 2-0 in a row, 4 minutes left, first period. If now L.A. capitalizes on this thing, Jakes, that's a long way back. And again, that's that poise and composure. Any coach is yapping at, talking about, emphasizing night after night.
And now as the puck is cleared out to center ice, this L.A. power play sets up with Gretzky, Keldelsky, and Jay Miller. Gretzky is over the line. He shoots. And he unloaded, but off the heel of the goalkeeper's stick. Now Robinson feeds it across. There's Miller with a blast. Doubleday makes the save and covers the puck.
Almost like Gretzky senses he's got a young goalkeeper down there. Might be a little nervous because he's unloading the puck. Usually he's coming in that situation. He'll hesitate, look for someone to get into a seam. But 3 times tonight, he just came over that blue line, and he's got one thing in his mind. I want to get my shot on net. First goal, and Keldelsky knocked it right out of the air. Again, he usually spins out and looks for trailers. But he's going to say, I'm going to test this kid. I'm going to do it right away. And I think another thing, Jigs, he wants to get this record behind him so he can say it's done. I don't want to think about it. I don't want people yapping about it. I don't want people following me in the press or whatever. Get it done so he can go on with the year. And I guess I can't blame him with that.
No, I don't think so. I understand exactly what he's facing. And Gordie Howe, the man that he is going to catch and pass very shortly, is at the game tonight. That could be guessing with us in our second intermission. Gretzky has assisted on both of Pavelski's goals. Now 9 points separating Gretzky and Howe. Gretzky set up here by Pavelski, put it out in front. Bob Pavelski turns, checks tightly, gets it back to Preisler for a shot. That skips off his stick and up into the seats.
LA has changed their power play philosophy a little bit this year. They're taking a big guy right down the middle. In this case, Jay Miller, and his job is just to tip and screen, get on the crease, come out a little bit, let everything go in the opposite or the outside perimeters. Look for the shoot. Look for that little pass. This kid's a story himself. You know, this guy right now, Jigs, the 2 goals and with Gretzky's assists, he said, geez, I'm going to take 2 weeks off and retire. This is a career.
There he is, number 37, Yaley.
Well, I'm sure his coach back home, if he's watching Timmy Taylor, the longtime coach at Yale, is very proud of him.
Now the puck cleared back into the Los Angeles zone. Robinson picks it up. 1 minute is ticked off in the double minor penalty against Koser. Race for the puck here. Chason will get to it first. The Kings, although on a power play, are going to be called for having iced the puck.
And Larry Robinson saw that long pass. He thought he was going to take it. It just skipped up a little bit. Look at Tommy Webster here. Get a little gray now, Jake. See that?
Yeah, just a touch. What a great sense of humor.
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable. I mean, he gets Barry Beck. The Kings talk Barry Beck into coming to play here. Who does Tom Webster room him with during training camp but John Tonelli, the old Ranger killer? So you got Tonelli and Beck, his roommate now.
Well, you forget those things, Jake. You just go on it. You do a lot of things in the heat of the moment, in the battle and what have you, and then it's done. You forget about it. Tommy's done a good job wherever he's been. He's won in the minors, the American League, the International League, or used to be the Central League, and he'll win here.
Yeah, I think he will. Got some more talent to work with this season than they had a year ago. They went to the division final, of course, and then lost to the Calgary Flames. Watch Bernie Nichols drawing a crowd, gets it back to Robinson for a shot. Chevelday the save, and he covers any chance of a rebound. Taylor got knocked down as well. Chevelday kept his eye on the puck
and made a good save. And the first shot that Stevie Duchesne had, he came up big with it. I thought, geez, that's what he needs. So then he's got a little tough luck on the one that Pavelski knocked out of the air, but he found on the other one. And again, this next 3 minutes and 11 seconds, Jake, this might be the turning point of the game. Or next 2:23. Detroit's got to weather this storm and then go from there. If not, this might be all she wrote. Because once LA they'll just shift it into another gear. Then they start stretching the zones a little bit. They start being a little bit more creative than normal. And boy, it's awful hard to, it looks like they got you on a yo-yo and they're just playing with you a little bit. So again, the next couple of minutes here, Detroit's got to kill this thing to make a game out of this.
Well, they're 10 seconds shy of having killed the first of the 2 penalties to Koser. Preisler moving up to the puck, elected to dump it in and did not cross the center ice stripe. So LA is charged again with icing.
I should maybe just reflect back a few nights ago. They were down, 5, 6 goals in Calgary and battled back within one, and then Calgary had a little spurt at the end.
Yeah, it was not a defensive gem, their season opener at the Olympic Saddle Dome. And they lose in Vancouver last evening. Chartered immediately after the game, flew into Los Angeles, arriving here about 12:30 this morning. They had what I consider to be a tough skate for a game day skate here this morning, Herb. I thought there was a lot of work.
Yes, there was. And the first part of it, though, Jock was doing some instructing, talking about the position. He says, hey, boys, the efforts is there. And I want you to combine, the effort with some mind. You've got to be just a little smarter. Hockey club. And he made that point time after time this morning.
Robitaille with a pass to the point. Dan McSorley's shot deflected out the other side of goaltender Tim Chevelday. Kings get set up again. Bernie Nichols at the points. Here's Preisler taking McSorley's pass. Got it into the corner for Nichols. To Taylor. He centers, and it's banged in by Robitaille. 3-0, Los Angeles. The Kings celebrate.
Well, I like that new helmet. Hey, that was a classy-looking power play. You got to give a lot of work to Davy Taylor. Watch the work that Taylor's doing in front. Kostopoulos belts him into the net. He's taking a few belts all over. Kriska running around a little bit. And again, he just deflected it down. And Taylor just threw a nice goal-mouth pass. And Lucky Robitaille, again, got his stick on it. And they don't call him Lucky for nothing. He's a natural scorer. And the weak side of Detroit's defense could not cave in and pick him up. And when you start playing a real pressure type of penalty killing, you need help from one guy, Jigs. That's your weak side forward. He's got to cave in and go to the net if necessary, and he didn't get it done.
Robitaille's third of the season. He leads the Kings in goal scoring and now has 5 points. The power play goal is scored at the 17:45 mark of the opening period. Puck tied up on the board, corner to the right of goaltender Tim Chevalier, and Los Angeles has built a 3-0 lead. On the face-off, the Los Angeles Kings put the puck back in the Detroit zone, and there's Michael Connell playing it up the right side, but out of the reach of Joey Koser. Casper over, trying to knock it away from Gallant. It's moved out into the center ice zone. Huda drops back now for Detroit. Lead pass to Koser. Forward line of Yzerman trying to make things happen. You saw the puck bounce crazily off the boards behind Rudy and right back out in front of the net. Center ice. Crowder doing the checking, and O'Connell fires one from the point. Rudy blocked it, took a look around, then he decided to freeze it. A long time before the whistle sounded, and Rudy just checking to see if that really was only 3 seconds.
Well, this is going to make a difference right here, Kelly Rudy, this hockey club from day one. And that's not to take anything away from Healy last year that scored, had 25 games. But that thing, it sort of just knuckleballed a little bit. If that would have hit the inside of his goal stick, Jigs, that would have deflected right into that. Joey Koser got pretty good wood on it. And again, let me repeat something. Koser is not a bad hockey player.
Oh, no.
And he's put some numbers on the board in junior. Cousin of Wendell Clark, so it runs in the family a little bit. But he just got to control himself again. And again, I'll tell you what's going to happen in that Detroit locker room. Jock is just going to be furious on that talking penalty. You get an honest penalty, it happens. You get on with it. But they want to get home, and they want to add a few points here. And it's there's a lot of, I don't want to say rebuilding, but there's a lot of new people that they've got to get used to here in Detroit.
Well, you heard the coach prior to the game tonight tell us that it would not take 40 games to gel, and I don't think it will either. Right now, they just don't have the combinations together.
Well, they really shook up this hockey club. There's no question about it.
A lot of new faces in the Los Angeles lineup as well. And here's Gretzky making the pass to Kadelsky, and he couldn't get a stick on it. Less than a minute to go in the opening period as Steve Yzerman hits the center ice strike. Knocked away from him by Lindholm. To Gretzky. Takes the shot at the point. Through a crowd, got bumped, and Chevalier able to move it up the boards, and the Red Wings finally get to it. Chason has given it to Yzerman, to Gallant. Gallant looks to the right side, and he overled his man just by a little bit. Here's Koser. This is Gretzky. Look at that pass. On to the stick of Kadelsky. There was nobody open on the left side as he made the rink-wide play, and now Yzerman steps over center ice. Yzerman moving in on Robinson, who just reached over, took the puck away. Zombo has it at center with 8 seconds remaining in the period. This is Robinson handling it for the Kings. Crowd applauding as Los Angeles builds a 3-0 lead during the first period action here.
Place time, and we'll see him start right here, the second period.
And the other story that everybody is watching, Wayne Gretzky, as he creeps closer and closer to Gordie Howe in the all-time NHL scoring record, most points. Howe played 26 years in the NHL. There's Gallant banging one off the boards as it's wide of Kelly Rudy. Yzerman into forecheck, wheeled it out in front. Gallant well covered by Laidlaw. And out comes Crowder. Heath Crowder wearing number 23, Eddie Shack's old number when he played for the Los Angeles team, and the same number that cleared the track Shack wore for so many other clubs. Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Toronto, on and on. Pinelli, rink-wide pass. Over the line, Casper can't get around Chason, however, and here comes Yzerman. Pinelli defense, drops back. Yzerman, Ted Gallant, his shot was off the blocking glove of goalkeeper Kelly Rudy. Yzerman weaves his way off the boards, gets checked. Up the ice comes Casper. Casper fires them off the defenseman, Katsopoulos. Doubleday moving it around the left wing side. The L.A. right winger, Crowder, moves in. Good checking job. Got the puck in front. Here's Gretzky. Looked out. Hit the post. Rebound is banged in. Lindholm, the rookie. Nhl Lindholm makes it 4-0. And Gretzky will get another assist.
Geez, we might be here tonight, Jigs. They might break it right now, the way he's going. And again, if you're going to check Gretzky, you got to check him. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts. And he makes these little moves down tight. And here's pulling to his forehand, but Kostopoulos commits just the cardinal sin for the defenseman. Take the body, and if you don't take his body, anybody is going to be trouble, especially Gretzky. Again, Kostopoulos went for the puck. He went fishing. Gretzky gives it to him and said, now, take that. That's Bloody Nose Alley, right through there. And the rookie Michael Lindholm just jumps in, and he had a cherry there.
And did he ever? He'll be burning up the telephone lines to Sweden later tonight. Nhl Lindholm will be calling home. Tell them about his first National Hockey League goal. And folks, guess who assisted? Yes, 99, Wayne Gretzky. A minute and 8 seconds into the second period. Keith Crowder gets an assist as well. So the Kings are up 4-0. Gretzky with 3 points. He started the night 11 behind Gordie Howe's record. Here's Kadalski over the line. Oh, blocking glove save. You saw Chevelday do the splits to reach out and get a chunk of that. Now Duchesne at center right. Kadalski trying to go length wide to Gretzky, who was well covered. Duchesne gets it onto the captain's stick, and Gretzky turns away from the checking of Fedorko.
Better not hang this young goalie out to dry in this effort, Jakes. I figure he made me fan on Kadalski's second one.
Oh, he just came up with a good save off Robitaille's deflection. Taylor set up Robitaille in front.
But other than that, you can't blame him. Our play goal, you can't blame him. The one out of the air, you can't blame him. You can't blame him on that rebound. One goal there that might have tied his hands a little bit. But other than that, he needs a little help back there. I don't think Jacques Demers, his coaching staff, can be very happy with their effort in the defensive zone. And that's one of the trademarks of Jacques Demers' team. They play well in that defensive zone.
Always do. He mans that. Cagney at center right. He too, one of the newcomers, veteran. Huda dumping the puck into the Los Angeles zone. Flood the territory. 3 men in checking, but the Kings up to the puck. Dump it down the ice. Not go through the goal crease, so we'll get a whistle for icing. Now Lindholm scoring here in the second period has taken Los Angeles to a comfortable lead over the Detroit Red Wings. Pretty good look at the creativity of the two goalkeepers, Kelly Rudy on the left, and of course Tim Chevelday on the right. What you can do with a goalkeeper's pass, provided you've got the right can of spray paint and the creative ability, I guess, sir.
See, there's a poster out of all the different pictures of all the different masks in the National Hockey League, and it's really a creative thing. It's something to see.
In the good old days when the goalkeepers didn't wear masks.
Oh, geez. Poor, I think, guy that I got to know a little bit, old Gump Borsley, and about 4 foot nothing, and how he stood up to those things.
Have a look at this mask. Glenn Hanlon, we showed you a mask last year here on Sports Channel America where Glenn had that fish hook. Remember the fly? Really into that.
One thing when you look at the goalie, you look at Rudy, Jakes. You know what that acquisition tells me more than anything else? The future's now here in L.A.
Oh, very definitely.
Right now, in the next 2 years, they've got to strike.
Look at the price that they paid in the offseason. The New York Islanders acquired Doug Crossman to complete that deal. Crossman, good offensive defenseman. Rudy made the save. The puck got away from him, and the Red Wings teed up. Huda's shot right on. Rudy, the save, made another save off Nhl, who got to the rebound, and it is still 4-0. Just to go back to that trade that brought Kelly Rudy here, the Islanders acquired goaltender Mark Fitzpatrick, Wayne McBean, a defenseman, and then Doug Crossman in the offseason. And there's Rudy working his magic.
They got running around a little. L.A. got running around. This is one of the things that Tommy Webster wants to solve in that defensive zone. But the important thing, Tom says, we don't want to take our creativity away. We don't want to take our goal scoring away. But we just want to add to our play without the puck. Make a better transition. And all of a sudden, he doesn't want to take a 40-goal scorer to make him a 10-goal checker. But they can't be just, as we talk about in the defense zone, less is more. Sometimes the less you do, the more you accomplish. Now, in that case, Robitaille, who is notorious in his defensive zone, was running all over and caused that point shot, and thank God for Rudy.
Like you pointed out earlier, having him here for the entire season, plus the acquisitions, defensive help that they've received, it'll be a far different year. They've always had the ability to score goals. They've had to have that ability because they've needed a lot of goals to win most nights. Crowder handling the puck, sends Tonelli across the line. He shoots up high on the goalkeeper, Jim Chevelday. Checking jobs thrown up here. Casper gets mugged. Off comes his helmet. Zombo and his arm wrapped around him. Casper puts one in front and taken down, and there will be a penalty. Crowder went down, and the Red Wings are complaining about a dive, and that stopped referee Hogarth right in his tracks. Gallant's got a misconduct along with this. There they go. Gerard got a misconduct.
And number 17, Gerard Gallant, a 10-minute misconduct.
Well, Jacques Demers is steamed. Zombo takes a cross-checking penalty. Alternate captain Gerard Gallant complains to referee Ron Hogarth enough to receive a 10-minute misconduct, and Jacques was up on the players' bench screaming and yelling, very animated in his comments to referee Ron Hogarth. He simmered down a little bit, but it's a power play for Los Angeles, and yes, he's out on the ice again, number 99.
Well, what this does to Detroit, two things now, Jigs. Obviously, they got to kill this penalty off, but they're going to lose their second scorer here in Gallant, who's a great goal scorer, and they need him if they're going to get back in this game.
Kowski, Jay Miller, and Wayne Gretzky, the forwards for Los Angeles. Duchesne and Robinson on the points, but O'Connell has cleared it out for the Red Wings. Robinson took it at the line, fed Miller. Now to Kabelski. Gretzky on the right wing takes his pass. Drops it back to Duchesne. Over to Robinson. To Duchesne. Through a screen. He shoots. Chevelday made the save, and Gretzky wheels it right out in front, but not to a Kings player. Instead to Yzerman. Kleeman right back to Yzerman. Comes over the line here, letting things form in front of the net. Gave the puck to Kleeman. He cannot get around the defensive work of Steve Duchesne. Gretzky waiting for a Red Wing to touch the puck and avoid an offside. Right, dumping it down the ice. A minute and 10 seconds left in the minor penalty to Zombo. Duchesne spotted Gretzky. Gretzky tried to hit Kudelski moving up right wing. Goes to the opposite side now for Nichols. To Kudelski. Kudelski got tripped up. Back on his skates. Gives the pass to Nichols. Seeing Gretzky go back to the net. Nichols knocked off balance. And the Red Wings able to clear it out. Huda moved it to the right side. That's Fedorko moving in. Steve Duchesne in possession of the puck. Good pass to Gretzky. Right on the tape of the stick. Drops it back. Robinson sets it up for Nichols. Holds it. Oh, the shot was blocked at the defense. Huda clears the zone.
Detroit's defense got to take the body down deep. Nichols, Gretzky. Too much stick checking. I'm sure that this is something that's going to bother Jock when he looks at this tape.
L.A. goes in offside. A little over anxious at the Detroit line. They thought they had the Red Wings caught in a player change. They did, but this could not move in cleanly. There's Bernie Nichols. 70 goals last season. How many will he get this year, Herb?
Oh, I don't know. I really don't know. But I'm telling you, did he have a year last year? And I've said this before, not to be redundant. They talk about Yzerman and Gretzky and Lemieux, the great years they had. But to me, the story of the National Hockey League last year was Bernie Nichols and 150 points. Look at Tommy Webster. He just say, hey, this is not a bad night at the office right now.
This is fun. But as you know, in this game, goals can be scored in a hurry, and the complexion can change dramatically.
Yeah, now he just has to say, hey, let's not get over anxious. We got enough goals to win now. Let's just keep everything in the proper perspective.
Exactly. Just like that, Barr picks up a loose puck, sent it to Yzerman. He shoots, glove save. Rudy grabbed it. They've been going wide. Rudy hearing it from the crowd. That chant has become traditional here now. Rudy. Dave Taylor had it slip off his stick, then he gets turned around and goes flying. And Mike O'Connell is up with it. Teams are at 6 aside. Yzerman down left wing. Lima trailing. Eiserman cuts into the middle, centered one, and it's tipped wide. Barr racing to the front of the net. Made contact with it, but couldn't get it on target. Up come the L.A. Kings. Nichols taking the pass. Waits, goes to the corner, centers it in front, and the goalkeeper, Chevelday, comes up with a good save there. With 13 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the second period, Bob Kadowski, number 37, has scored twice for Los Angeles. Robitaille and Lindholm have the others. Detroit Red Wings trying to move out of their own zone following that face-off, and here's Fedorko. Poke checked away from him at the point. Lindholm can't tie him up, however. Here's Klima, had a man open, walks right in, and Rudy makes the save. Klima electing to hold the puck and make the play, and here comes Kadowski. Norwood got a piece of him, knocked him down, and Zombo up with the puck, clears out of the zone and down the ice. And thought Kadowski had been interfered with. Folks have been reading the rule book here. Now Kadowski has the puck again. He crosses the line with a pass to Gretzky. Look at him pull up on Zombo, and then he couldn't feed the left side for Waters. Fedorko across the line. His pass to Klima is knocked away. It's right in the middle of the player change. Habscheid is knocked down right in front of the player's bench. Falls on top of the puck, and that gets a play stoppage.
Little age on Bernie Fedorko on that thing, Jiggs. There was a time where he might have just pulled away or maintained the gap. They caught him from behind, and that hurt him, and Habscheid was coming hard down the left side. Couldn't get the puck to him.
Up in the crowd, we showed you earlier, that's Richard Kadowski. The gentleman with the glasses on the left side of the picture is screening him a little bit. The father of Bob Kadowski, who has scored twice tonight, playing on the forward line with Wayne Gretzky.
Maybe right now, Jiggs, let's think, how much does it cost to go to Yale a year? 20 grand.
Yeah,
that's 80 grand. Mr. Kabelski's up there and said, all right, kid, you owe me 80. Get a few more goals, and I'll carry you, but you owe me the 80 grand for that education.
Sounds like the words of a father paying a tuition bill to me.
Yeah, this is something when they post the alumni list out there of all the Yale grads in Wall Street and doing this, and one professional ice hockey player.
L.A. leading 4-0. Robinson making the pass to Jay Miller. Back to the blue line. And Duchesne scores. It may have been tipped by Allison, who had gone to the front of the net. It's 5-0.
Oh, the long night, boy, when you're on the road and you're looking around and you're down 5-0 and half the game left, you're going to say, hey, what are we going to do? Right now, and I'm thinking about this, and not to criticize, maybe some time ago, take time out and say, what's going on? Here's this rookie, Duncanson, Craig Duncanson. He said, I just got to get this on net. Mike Allison going down there, tipping and screening. Chevrolet could not see. He had no idea, but go to the net. And it's nice to see this Craig Duncanson, who was a first-round choice of L.A. a few years ago, had a couple good years in New Haven. That thing just tucked inside that post. They're going to pull him, put Glenn Hanlon in there. But again, Jiggs, I would say they can't fault him on that, okay? I'm going to say there's one goal out of 5 that maybe should have had Kadowski's second one. Look at Glenn Hanlon.
Number 1, Glenn Hanlon.
Yeah, there's the veteran coming in to replace the rookie. The goal at the 8:19 mark. No warm-up time for Hanlon now.
Jiggs, this is a very, very crucial thing when you got a young goalie in there. You don't want to lose his psychic right now. So all of a sudden, he's saying, get out of my way. Let me look on this thing. He lost his balance a little bit. He can't fall him. But now, are you going to just say, you're going to sit here tonight and this is your fault? That's going to haunt him for a long time. Or, Jiggs, let me ask you a question. You're going to say, Hanlon, just simmer this thing down now, and I'm going to come back with Chevelday. I'm going to come back with him maybe to start the third period or right after. But I want to talk to him now and get him back into the game.
And a penalty call coming up with the score. Los Angeles 5, Detroit 0.
Los Angeles penalty, number 25, Peter Preisler. 2 minutes for tripping.
That's Peter Preisler in the penalty box. Tripping is the call. 8 minutes and 34 seconds into the second period. Detroit with their third power play chance of the game. Coming into tonight's action, they were 2 for 8 with the man advantage on the season. A year ago, the Detroit power play finished 12th best overall. And Klima sets it up for Yzerman, who couldn't get a shot away. Tried to one-time it. Didn't get it on. Casper drops it back into the Los Angeles zone. Killing it off. Allison and Casper up front. Detroit with Klima, Yzerman, and Fedorko as the three forwards. Chase on one side of the defense. Lee Norwood on the other. This is Norwood handling the puck. So Yzerman. Maybe Yzerman. Fed Fedorko. Klima circled, went toward the front of the net, then peeled off. He has the puck now. Back to Norwood. Through a screen, wide of the net. Ends up in the corner. Yzerman checked tightly by Waters. Then got away, but they're ruling a hand pass. It's all right for the defensive team to hand pass it, but not the attacking team. And there's a look at Tim Cheveldae, 21 years of age. His third start in the National Hockey League, 2 last season. Yanked at the 5-minute mark. Now you see the artistry personified by Glenn Hanlon.
Let me go back to Cheveldae right now, and I think all coaches are worried about the mental state of a young goalkeeper, especially a goalkeeper right now. You look at this thing, yeah, we're down 5, but it wasn't really his fault. You give him, maybe bad marks in 1 goal. Now, if he's out of here and he does not come back, what's this going to do for his confidence? You got to worry about the future of Detroit's goalkeeping. Stefan has had a bad back for the last, this year, training camp, and at times last year. They got Randy Hansch, who's a very good young goalkeeper, but he's been injury prone. Where do you go? They're not sure that Glenn can take all the workload or play his 50 games plus. So what I'm saying, if this game is out of reach, I'm going back with him. I'm going to put him back in the game for his confidence. Okay? It's a very crucial thing.
Yeah, very. Now, let me put you on the spot. Had you taken that job as general manager of the team in the offseason, somebody had called and offered you a chance to acquire Tim Cheveldae, would you, GM Brooks, be interested?
Well, on his performance tonight, I wouldn't have to take a look at that. You look at a lot of things. You got to go back to the book and the Bible on him. But he wouldn't be here if he wasn't a good goalkeeper, Chase.
Getting the opportunity to play tonight, get the start at least. Stefan with a back problem. Greg Stefan. Then Hanlon, having given up a lot of goals in his first 2 outings. And here's Wayne Gretzky into the Detroit zone. The penalty is expired. Walking in is Duchesne. Hanlon makes his first stop of the night. Tony McKegney clears it out for the Detroit Red Wings. And Norwood at center just dumps one down inside the Los Angeles territory. See Gretzky pulled up. Mill skated right by him, and now Gretzky comes over the line with a bullet wide of Hanlon.
I've never seen Gretzky shoot so much, Jigs, around the blue line or just inside the blue line. Mm-hmm. Have you?
No.
I mean, he's always spinning out. He's always looking for that outlet pass, looking for people to come in out of the blind spots. Tonight, I think he's saying, I'm just going to shoot the puck tonight. And that's not all bad.
8 minutes, 45 seconds remaining in the second period. Here's Wayne Gretzky. Can't put it through the skates of Chason. And O'Connell sends his man down the right side. Got it right back in the pass from Habside. Rudy the stop. Loose puck. Habside chasing it. Gretzky chases him. Habside tied up on the boards by Lindholm. Zombo moves to the left wing boards. Goes in a little deeper. Nobody went to him. Zombo chases it again. Now looks for Sean Burr. Centers one. That's broken up. And Gretzky just clears it out towards center ice. Oh, the Red Wings on the attack again. Over the line with it is Habside. Former Olympian plays it to the side of the net. A backhander steered aside by Rudy. And out come the L.A. Kings. Waters making the pass to Gretzky. Surrounded by red-shirted Red Wings. And now Kadelsky with Gretzky's pass and ricochets around in front and goes wide. Zombo says I've had enough. They can't clear it out of the zone on the original attempt. Back in for it is Dave Barr, and he gets checked in the zone end of the ice. He comes right back to the point. Chrysler's shot on target. Handled the stop. The rebound. He got a chunk of that. It bangs around in front of the net and finally is covered. You see the scuffle that ensues. Sticks flying, bodies flying. Out comes a glove or two. Some nastiness develops with Los Angeles up 5-0.
Well, McSorley came out of right field in that one. I think he should put that sweater of the Los Angeles Rams on right now. He's got a couple of them. First of all, they got Peter Praser there, just a rookie at Czechoslovakia, and who is that really an aggressive guy? So they gave him a little muscle with McSorley. McSorley's watching that. He's also looking over the shoulder, and Tommy Webster is saying, well, might have seen a few of these in my day. Well, happened, Jigs, early. What happened down Detroit zone, the first defenseman was on his man. He left his check, and then everything caved in after that.
Dave Taylor leaves, as does Torrey Robertson of the Detroit Red Wings. The Kings have a 5-0 lead. Well, here's the way things happened in front of the Detroit net. Los Angeles with a good scoring opportunity. Down goes Hanlon. O'Connell has his man tied up. Boy, I'll tell you what. One of the Detroit forwards, the defenseman, looked like he reached in and covered the puck in the goal crease, Herb.
Yeah, I think it was Dave Bard who reached in there. And then it was OC. Michael Connor and David Taylor just got at it a little bit. And here comes Mr. McSorley to the right of your screen. And it's just a lot of pushing right here. And Jim Nill is saying, wait a minute now, Marty. Simmer down, will you? What more? You got 5-goal lead. Just take it easy on us now.
The penalties are Robertson of Detroit, Taylor of Los Angeles. 5 minutes each for fighting at 12:33. Looking at McSorley coming into the play like that reminds me of a new tape that's going to be available shortly. You see Rudy making the save and covers the puck. Marty McSorley plays a large role in a new hockey video that will be available shortly called the NHL's Greatest Hits. Not only is Marty throwing a few hits, but he's demonstrating how to do it. That's some pretty good lines in it.
You talk about, Rudy and what he means. And all of a sudden, this is a tough thing for a goalkeeper to be in right now. 5-goal lead. You might think he's got a night off on this thing, but all of a sudden, everybody starts leaning the other way and get a little bit more offensive-oriented. And he's got to come up big at times, but he's had the experience. And again, I think this is the big thing. This guy is one of the top 3 or 4 goalkeepers in the league. And I don't want to take anything away from Mr. Healy. He did a heck of a job here last year, Diggs, and I don't think he ever got the credit that he really deserved.
He's been asking for you, wondering what's happening with his fan club.
Hey, Diggs, you win 25 games in this league. You've done a pretty good job.
I'll take nothing away from his work. Nothing. This is Yzerman. Detroit has had 16 shots on goal, and there's Norwood with a shot that hit somebody and bounced that into center ice. But referee Ron Hogarth had already called the play, and he's headed toward the penalty box.
Then you got Yzerman or Norwood, just a little half punch, half shove. And Yzerman, being the competitor is, they're just locking him up. They got Casper on him all the time, and he's trying to get out of out of that check and what have you. And it gets a little frustrating. You're wearing the C, and you just signed a new contract, a lot of money there, and you just. And you're responsible for so many things when that C is on there. There's been some great hockey players in the National Hockey League, Jigs, that had to take that C off just to get back and so they feel comfortable. Let's take a look at this replay here. Look at you talked about people on Yzerman, and he's saying, hey, and he turns around and gives a little pitchfork to Stevie Crowder.
Oh, boy. Yzerman slashing and the misconduct.
2 minutes for slashing.
And a slashing penalty on Keith Crowder. We're looking at Bernie Fedorko, newly acquired in the offseason. We asked him prior to the game tonight about the adjustment of playing hockey in Detroit.
Well, it was different. I won't say it came as a shock because they did let me know a week before that they told me that they were going to deal with me. But I've come to a great organization, Detroit. You guys have a good hockey team. Josh Demers, who I played for in St. Louis, has made me feel real welcome. And all the guys have really responded real well to me. So right now we'd like to win a few more hockey games. But other than that, things are looking real good.
You look at number 42. Remember him probably for that familiar number 24 that he wore for all those seasons for the St. Louis Blues.
Jigs, a lot of people say his legs are gone. He was never really a great skater, but there's one stat that really jumps right off the page when you look at Bernie Fedorko. He's averaged a point a game for the last 10 seasons. Now that's something.
Sure is. One word, consistency.
I said Steve Crowder, Jigs. I meant to say Keith Crowder.
L.A. dumping the puck into the Detroit zone, wide of the net. Zombo is first to reach it, and that is icing.
Tough night at the office, Jigs.
Yeah.
Tough night at the office.
Of course, if he were back in Detroit, he'd probably be at his restaurant, maybe even washing dishes at this point. Where would you rather be? Here in L.A., right?
Well, we had a nice visit with him today, and he knows, blending a lot of new people in and opening on the road and the goalkeeping situation to be what it is. He said there are some variables that we can control, and there's some that we cannot control. I like the watch he's got. I think that's one of those big $5,000 Rolexes. We don't get those in the booth, do we?
Oh, never.
No. Our producer has that kind of money, we do.
And a look now at Tommy Webster. Handled the junior hockey team in nearby Windsor, Ontario, nearby to Detroit.
He saw Detroit play an awful lot last year. He knows this hockey club very well.
Lima walks out of the corner. Takes a hit. Loses the puck, and up the ice comes Robinson. Moving it on Chason. Trying to cut to his left. Lost control of it. Chason sends Klima over the line, and the puck knocked away by Duchesne. This is Pavelski playing it rink wide, and who's over there? Wayne Gretzky slipped right by Klima. Couldn't find the man with that pass. Fedorko moves in on right wing. Centers one across. Klima is robbed by Rudy. Klima trying to one-time it. Now Gretzky is tripped up by Chason in the center ice area. Not a foul or a penalty call.
But the crowd think there's a no-touch rule on Wayne Gretzky here, Jigs. If he goes down, they're coming at you.
And the Kings are offside as they move into the Detroit zone. 5 minutes, 8 seconds left in the second period. Trainer Pete Demers, longtime trainer, working on Steve Casper, I believe. Yes, number 11. Casper has been hurt.
We talked about they didn't know if Larry Robinson was going to play tonight. Bernie Nichols was banged up a little bit, Jake. So they both answered the bell, and Stevie Casper, they don't want to lose him because that's that little missing link that they felt they had to have last year. Gretzky's talked about these things. The Kings talked. Rogie Bouchard's talking about Robbie Fedork's talking about Tommy Webster's talking. It's maybe just improving, the ability of that one line, that checking line. That's just going to relieve some of the burdens of the Nichols and Gretzky lines.
Recognize that man?
Oh, boy. Yeah, so? Oh, Gordy.
Mr. Hockey, Gordie Howe. He'll be guesting with us on our second intermission.
Is his wife, Colleen, still in the Amway business?
I don't know her.
I think so.
Put word down to her. She's sitting beside Gordie, corner of your picture.
Great family.
And the man who is chasing his numbers right there on your screen, Wayne Gretzky. And Gordie will be staying with the Kings now. Apparently will watch every game. He'll be there when Wayne breaks the record. We're talking to Gordie about that. 4 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the second period. Rich McDonald and Herb Brooks with you from the Forum in Inglewood. The tip by Graves. Nothing happening there. Graves hasn't had much ice time, has he, Herb, or have I just missed him prior to this?
No, he has not, Jake. You have not missed it. That's a good point, because they haven't been going to McKechnie. Graves. They're breaking up half-side a little bit, though.
And Los Angeles, comfortable with a 5-0 lead over the Detroit Red Wings. Face off in the center ice area. Shane Heyer drops the puck. He's one of the linesmen tonight. The other is Ryan Bozak. And the referee, Ron Hogarth. Mike Allison overskated the puck at center ice. Here's McKechnie across the line now for Detroit. Played it toward the corner. Red Wings try to set things up behind the LA goal. Moving the play to the corner is Graves. In comes McKechnie. Graves after the puck again. It's tied up with Allison. Norwood goes back to the net. It's knocked down, and there will be a penalty on Waters. Detroit player Norwood down on the deck again, and Waters right there with him. But Waters will leave the ice, and Detroit gets a power play opportunity. They've been outshot 25-17 in the game tonight.
It's one of the things that you'd like to do now when your club is up is to use the other people that don't get a lot of ice time. Maybe to kill the odd penalty. Maybe even get some power play time when you're up 5 goals. But at least get them some ice time. Good pitcher. Mike Allison right there has been fighting his knees and a knee problem for many years. And there's a good example maybe why some of the players are wearing masks these days. A lot of people look at Timmy Waters and say, how is he still playing in the league? Well, this is an example why he's still playing in the league. He's always working, persistent. He'll do anything to not only pull on a sweater for a personal sake, but just to help his hockey club. and he had a heck of a year for Los Angeles last year.
Yeah, he really did. One of the fine acquisitions by this club, coming over from Winnipeg.
Excuse me, Jigs, when you're talking about Gretzky and we saw a picture of Mr. Hockey Gordie Howe, talking about the record, the most astounding thing about that record, Gretzky his point total is in 774 games, while Howe's is in 1,767 games, and that's not to be disrespectful to Gordie Howe, obviously.
16 league for the most part when Gordie played. 25 seasons in a Detroit uniform. Longevity, the key. And what about Gretzky? Well, 21 teams now. A little more travel, lot more travel, I guess you could say, but maybe not the quality of play in all areas.
Oh, that's right. There's no question, James. There's trade-offs, so there's checks and balances in it.
Detroit setting up here in a power play. Fedorko, after having taken the pass from O'Connell, waits for Klima to move in behind him. Waiting for Durant to go to the front of the net. Gerard being bumped around by McSorley. O'Connell handling the puck. Now Fedorko out of the corner. To the side of the net, Durant centers, and Klima could not one-time it. And here's Gretzky taking that outlet pass, moving up on O'Connell. Gretzky drops it back to Duchesne. Can't handle it. He gets in front of Klima. Gets knocked down. Fedorko walks right in. The backhander. Rudy beats him. And there will be a penalty on the play. Referee Ron Hogarth signaling a holding penalty against the Kings. They're going to be 2 men short. Duchesne is going to go to the penalty box. Some job he did on Klima at the blue line, Herb.
Yes, he did, and no question about it. But Klima saw that thing. I think he helped the situation a little bit because he knew that Fedorko was right behind him and was going to, jump into a loose puck. Duchesne had to do that. He can't peel off and grab that thing, but now, see what I mean when I talk about Klima helping that situation out? Fedorko could not get that thing up. Well, you're back, and if you don't shoot it right away, the little old saying, in tight, go up high. Kelly Rudy's seen that move before and just stayed right with it and shut off that short side.
Duchesne in the penalty box joining Waters and Crowder. And here's the look at Kelly Rudy. See how far out of the goal he is. Cuts down everything, doesn't it?
No, you've got to be out, pivot, and get to the short side. Now, he got caught just a little bit, but you could see him. It's just that transferring the weight in the inside edges and get to the short side. But, Kelly's got to go out, cut the angle off, come back with him, because if you're flat-footed, you're just sitting duck.
L.A. shorthanded by 2 men for 33 seconds. Fedorko handling the puck. Kegney went to the front of the net. Graves with a shot that speared aside. Los Angeles up with it. Mike Allison can't clear the zone, however. Robinson gave chase. Kegney was right on him, and the veteran Robinson fires at the length of the ice. In 10 seconds, Waters' penalty will have expired. It is 5-0. Los Angeles on top of Detroit. Graves taking the pass here on left wing. Plays it wide of the net. It bounces around to Fedorko. The 1-man advantage now. Waters flies it away from Chason, and the Red Wings have to chase it. Lee Norwood picks up the puck. McKegney turns. The pass up right wing. They relay it quickly to Fedorko. Now to Graves. McSorley ties him up. McKegney arrives on the scene. Graves handled it. Got it to the point and away from Chason. 1 minute left in Duchesne's penalty, 1.5 minutes remaining in the second period. Fedorko unable to take the pass from Norwood, and the Kings drop it back, letting Rudy handle the puck. He loves that aspect of the game.
You look at Marty McSorley, just put him back in the Edmonton uniform. If you ever see him killing penalties like that, playing a point on a power play, taking the puck and throwing it all the way back to his goalie. Again, when you play with Gretzky long enough, you start mirroring some of his moves.
Kelly Rudy, I mentioned, enjoys that aspect. He enjoys shooting the puck. Days when he is not going to be the starting goalkeeper or when he's in practice, himself without the pads, and prides himself on his shot.
Well, hey, Jakes, he was out the other day with pads on handling the puck, and he looked pretty good. Yeah, I can see what you mean. I've never seen him just in a little pickup game, but he loves playing the game. Jakes, tell me about the bandana that he wears. Is there a story behind it? Or it's just a headpiece underneath his helmet that he likes to go to? Or
It's just there's a look at the bandana. It's something that started just about a year ago, I believe. I really don't know the story. I must talk to him about it. He went to it. Really, the sweatband type of thing, I guess, and he wraps it in there. Could never get one the right size for his head. It was always too long and dangled down the back of his neck like that. So
Yeah, I thought it was sort of like a whole bandana they put over his whole head and tied it. It was just a switchback. All right.
52 seconds remaining in the second period as we watch Peter Klima move in. Now Mark Habscheid handling it here in left wing. Back to Zombo to Habscheid, who turns, leads Zombo. Off it goes to O'Connell, to Zombo. To Habscheid. Fake. Gave it to O'Connell. Holds it. Walks in a little deeper. Teams are at 6 aside again. Klima had trouble handling the puck, but the whistle is sounded. Waters tying up McKegney at the Gallant, I guess it was, at the side of the Los Angeles goal.
No, Jakes, Detroit was really throwing the puck around in the power play very smartly, but the puck was going against them. They got to shoot the puck down. They're down by 5. It's fine to be idealistic in that, but they've got to pull the trigger. Here's the value of Timmy Waters and Tommy Laidlaw. And Tommy Laidlaw has really been a tremendous defenseman here in a defensive sort. Last year, he was the outstanding defenseman on this club, and he was up about a plus 30. You don't read a lot about him. Just stay at home, gets the puck up, does his job, and he and Timmy Waters have done a good job. Tommy Laidlaw out of Northern Michigan University, and Timmy Waters out of Michigan Tech University. Waters has been around Winnipeg, Los Angeles with one of the Olympic teams, 1980 Olympic team. Again, they've played well. They know how to handle this killing the penalty. They really read and react and play off one another very well. They get an awful lot of ice time.
There were penalties called. Gallant for a high sticking, Waters for holding at 1934. Robinson and Nichols, McDonald and Brooks. What a combination. There's our broadcast area here at the one-time fabulous forum, now the Great Western Forum. You see where we sit, media around us, the ice surface well below. Nichols breaking out. Over center ice. Carries it back into his own zone. Didn't like what he saw, I guess, at the Detroit blue line. Now he feeds Robitaille. He shoots from the line off handle and stick, and that will do it for the second period. Kings led 3-0 at the end of the first.
And then you really got to start things. You pointed out that, hey, there's only 6 teams. And in all due respect to the players today, and as good as they are, and how much you like to see expansion because there's more jobs and opportunities and broadening the base of amateur hockey and hockey all over, and obviously professional hockey. You know, playing that time with 6 teams was pretty darn tough.
And we should point out that the majority of Gordy's 26 seasons were with only 6 teams in the league, granted in 1967, and he played until 1980, retired for a while, was in the WHA, and came back to the NHL, finished up in Hartford in 1980, but for the majority of the years, there were 6 teams. That's offside as Duchesne moved in. Then in 67, the expansion of the National Hockey League from 6 to 12. In 1970, Vancouver and Buffalo joined the league, making it a total of 14. 2 years later, the Islanders coming into the league, along with the Atlanta Flames, now the Calgary Flames, and still Gordie Howe was playing at that time. There was never really anything soft. No soft goals, no soft points for Gordie. No. And really with Wayne, it's pretty much the same, although I understand there was an assist that was somewhat questionable. But hey, out of all those, close to 1,850, there's bound to be 1 or 2. If you're not going to give them back, I'm sure that if you were to go back and check all the tapes, it's probably another 25 to 35 points that weren't credited for one reason or another.
Yeah, that's right. And there's no question. One thing, the interesting story, Johnny Cannelli, playing now for Los Angeles Kings, broke in and started his career as a 19-year-old center iceman with the Houston team in the WHA, centering Gordie Howe and Mark Howe. You recall that?
Yes, I do. Here's Peter Klima with a pass. Barr couldn't handle it at the Los Angeles blue line. Now Taylor turns, Barr's pass, picked off by Robitaille to McSorley. Gretzky moves up the right side. There's the pass, but couldn't handle it. Even if he had, it would have been offside. He's going to drag it in behind. A minute and a half into the third period. Boy, it's nice to be back with you, Herb.
Oh, yeah, I'll bet it is.
I missed you. It was a long summer.
Yeah, not that long. You never called me.
Oh.
You bought a big fancy condo down in Florida now, and doubled my rates when I want to go for a holiday. And yeah, I knew that guy when, you know.
Knew the season wouldn't be very old before we got together and got it all aired out. 2 minutes into the third period. Detroit dumping the puck in, chasing it. Burr ends up back of the net. They move it around to Jimmy Nhl. Nhl couldn't find Torrey Robertson. Robertson and well, he goes to the boards. He takes a hit from Craig Duncanson. Torrey Robertson, never known to be shy. Got involved in the second period fight with Dave Taylor. And now he gets the elbow up a little bit on Jay Miller. Two of them battle in the corner. The puck, meanwhile, moves up the left wing boards. Sean Burr puts it back to the goal. Robinson steps away from Burr neatly and gets it out to center ice. Oh, back come the Red Wings again. Robertson takes a hit from Duchesne. And that'll be all. Torrey Robertson gets a rest as the Red Wings change on the fly. Robinson for Los Angeles to Duchesne. Cahuta broke up the pass at center. How strange it seems to be calling Larry Robinson's name. Playing for Los Angeles. This turnover. Rudy kicks out the first shot, and the rebound is cleared away by his defense. That's got to be a pleasant change for any Los Angeles goalkeeper to see the defense tighten up and move a loose puck as quickly as that. This will be an icing call against Los Angeles. We're about 3.5 minutes into the third period. The Kings comfortable here, leading 5-0. Long shot by McKegney. Rudy got enough of that to make the stop. McSorley moved it to Taylor, right back to McSorley. Goes rink wide, but through Chrysler. Chases it, but O'Connell is there. Rick Wilson leaving the New York Islanders in the offseason to come join Tom Webster. Wilson and Webster were to have worked together with the Canadian junior team, the national championships in Fairbanks, Alaska last year. That was prior to Wilson accepting the job on Long Island originally. Look at that move by Klima. Walks in. Rudy has to go out the catching glove. Klima with those moves. Man.
No, that was a great move, Jake Santana. He gave him that puck and pulled it away. And then you talk about, you know, your hands being on swivels. There was a good case.
Zombo at center ice. Couldn't handle the puck. Chrysler plays it around O'Connell. Picks it up. Zombo moves over to take Chrysler. The pass to Robitaille is tipped. Luc Robitaille, one of the 5 goals tonight, steps into the Detroit zone, kept the play on side. He has some magic as well, but his pass this time is tipped by Barr. Casper back out on the ice. He told us between periods that Casper had taken the puck off the skate. The toe bothering him. That was the reason he was being attended to at the bench. Then went to the dressing room, and you see he's back out there. Waters having taken the pass from Laidlaw, gets to center, and Zombo was there. Here's Klima. Shoots from outside the line. Rips it over top of the net. Nelly for Los Angeles spotted Casper. Goes to the right side. They move in deep, walk right in, and Hanlon stayed right with the shooter, in this case Crowder. And that's Klima feeding it up the left side. Chason moves into the Los Angeles end of the ice. Went rink wide for Nhl. Jim Nhl trying to center the puck. Got checked by Waters. Federico and Waters arm in arm. And the Kings able to play it to the right wing board. This is Casper. Chason back. Saw him swing the stick. And that's nearly connected with Tonelli. Now they move out into center ice again, but Katsopoulos can't make a play there, so he elected to dump it in. That's Robinson. Sidestep the check. Torrey Robertson had him lined up, he thought. Now down the ice comes Steve Duchesne. He's over the Detroit line, trying to go through traffic, and it's knocked away from him. Godowski goes back on the left side. Ran into Robertson. Katsopoulos for Detroit. Goes to the left side. There's Graves to the shot. Duchesne steered that toward the corner. Picked up again by Graves. Went to center one. Duchesne picked it off, and Gretzky starts down the right wing. 3-on-2. Gretzky with Miller going to the front of the net. Holds it. Played it around closer, picked it up again, and then got knocked down, and he is upset. Jay Miller takes the man. Gretzky had him all lined up. He put the stick up into his midsection. Very out of character for number 99. And Jay Miller went to the aid of the captain immediately.
Well, Jakes, you got to help me out on this thing right now because Wayne put the thing through Koser's feet and just spun around. Then he came right back and gave him a stick there. And for what happened, I got screamed on the thing.
Well, I'm sure we'll get a look on the replay. I'm not sure exactly what set it off either.
Was it Koser or Robinson, first of all? Gretzky, this is vintage Wayne Gretzky again. He's spinning. He'll get control. He goes against the grain. Now, this defenseman's got to go straight at him. Stay on him, but it's awful hard right now. Now, Torrey Robinson's coming up on him. And his Koser might have just gave him a little extra stick in the stomach there that he took exception to. But he went the other way. He went the other way, and now he's got to reach in and grab Kostopoulos. But I think that Wayne forgot who actually gave him the stick.
Yeah, it was Lee Norwood that he went after, and Norwood and Gretzky is still having words.
Number 29, Chris Kostopoulos, a game misconduct. Los Angeles penalty, number 29, Jay Miller, a double minor for roughing. Kostopoulos penalty, 6:42.
Well, you heard them. Kostopoulos gets a game misconduct. Norwood, a roughing penalty. Jay Miller, a double roughing penalty.
2 minutes for roughing.
And that will set up a Detroit power play. Kostopoulos out of the game. Barry Beck in the mirror. Barry hasn't played a regular season game. Growing problems. Played some preseason games and expects to be in the lineup Wednesday. 14,258. Just a little below capacity crowd tonight. Back-to-back games. Saturday night with Edmonton, Sunday with Detroit, and tomorrow, without the express written consent of Sports Channel America, is prohibited. 14,258. Just a little below capacity crowd tonight. Back-to-back games. Saturday night with Edmonton, Sunday with Detroit, and tomorrow their annual golf tournament. Got a look at the shots on goal. LA with 26, Detroit with 24. Can you get the clubs out tomorrow, Herb, and go golfing with these guys?
No, I guess they get Craig Stadler's taken to his club, I believe, Jakes.
That's what I understand, yeah.
Palm Springs. That's quite a day. I think they're all looking forward to that right now. So let's get out of this thing. Nobody get hurt. I want to screw up my backswing.
One thing about hockey players on the golf course, long ball time. Big drives, short putts. Eiserman handling the puck. Centers. Rudy makes the save off Gallant. The rebound ends up over on the far side of the ice. Eiserman trying to set it up again. Fake once as Laidlaw went down to try and block it. Stevie Eiserman puts it in front. It went off the Durko, and the Kings are up with the puck. This is Casper.
One thing right now, Jakes, I sure Tommy Webster's saying to his club, wait a minute. Let's not get lazy in here. Let's get this shutout for Kelly. And that's the one thing that they'll try to grab to motivate the team, and so they don't just start floating on you and just let this thing get out of hand. All of a sudden you get them back in the game, and those shutouts are awful precious for those goalkeepers.
Oh, indeed. Just about ended there, except it was fired wide by Federico, and Chason can't handle the puck at the point. Steve Chason being chased by McSorley. The puck freed up, and Bob Kadalski fails to get it outside the blue line. Gallant works it into Chason. He shoots. Rudy the save. It's loose. Behind him, fished out of the goal mouth by McSorley. The whistle apparently had sounded. Well, well. The calls get closer and closer, don't they?
Bernie Federico, he just couldn't reach on this thing, and he just got spun around at the last second. But he had a cherry there. We're just laying there, just out of his reach. And again, you take a look at the LA defenseman there. Fraser, he doesn't usually kill penalties, and that's not his forte, but he's just grabbing them and spinning them around. He'd want to take a look at the puck. But if he would have just, again, if Federico could have spun around himself, he would have just had a little tap in there. The goalkeeper needs a little help like that to get those shutouts.
Well, since you brought it up, and I guess it's like a no-hitter in baseball, we'll talk about shutouts. Kelly Rudy had one last season after coming over here. He has had 7 in his career, one, let's say, with Los Angeles. 15 seconds remaining in the Detroit power play. Huda at the point, moves it to the left side, then got it right back. Fires one, blocked in front of Rudy, and Yzerman can't put it by Rudy. He was there, trying to go upstairs. Rudy was down, took it away from him. Well.
Kelly's moving, he's seeing the puck. You got to give some credit now to the LA defensemen. They're clearing out just enough so he can see the puck. So if they don't clear out, his hands are tied. So he's getting some help from Tommy Laidlaw and Timmy Waters. Not the biggest of guys, but they're strong on their feet. And they battle and they push and they try to get that inside position.
Yzerman gets the draw here. Moved it back to Huda. Into Yzerman. Ames at 6's side again. Duncanson, who had been serving the first of the 2 minor penalties against Miller, sprung from the penalty box and picks up the puck at center. Then overplayed Allison as he moved down the right side. This is Pekegny. Nichols wouldn't knock it away from him. Abscheid went in after it and ripped one off the glass out into the center ice area. Little less than 11 minutes to play in the third period. Here's Tony Pekegny. He left it for Yzerman. Yzerman trying to find somebody open in front to Zombo. He shoots Rudy. Put the pad in front. Makes the save again, and the Kings tear it up to toward center ice. Doug Huda bent back. Gave it to Steve Yzerman. He is checked. Pekegny with it to Abscheid. Played it away from the checking. Moves in and can't control it. Fraser got back quickly for L.A. Peter Fraser is hooked. No penalty. Robitaille centers the puck to Nichols. Around the check. He shoots. Good stop by Hanlon. The puck comes loose.
Well, that was a very good stop by Hanlon, but what a great save by Kelly Rudy. Would just, to protect that short side or the far side, you don't want to move too fast. And he found himself just out of it, and he just somehow got his right leg on that, Jakes, and that was unbelievable.
Now it's O'Connell across the line to Nhl. Trying to play it around McSorley, but Preisler moved in to help out. O'Connell out at center ice after the Kings had cleared it. He's given it to Sean Burr, and he forces the Kings back into their own end. This is Tonelli. Moves it quickly to the right side. Dave Taylor found Gretzky. He shoots. Hanlon reaches, makes the glove save. So it's the score. The Los Angeles Kings 5, the Detroit Red Wings nothing. Getting ready for a face-off to the right of the Detroit goalkeeper. L.A. put Allison in to take the face-off. Duncanson on one side, Lindholm on the other. Both Lindholm and Duncanson have scored tonight, as has Robitaille and Bob Kanelski with a pair. 5-0, Los Angeles. Nhl left the puck at center ice. Moving up with it now is Huda, and he gets bumped and knocked down by Duncanson. And there'll be a penalty on Ian Duncanson. Look at Craig Duncanson in the penalty box. Set off for tripping at the 10:56 mark. They've been patient waiting for Duncanson to arrive and reach the ability or the level of play to make him a regular in the National Hockey League here in L.A., haven't they heard?
Yes, they have. He's had a couple back-to-back years in New Haven. They think he's going to give him some additional depth this year.
That's one thing about the Kings organization right now. There's more depth than there has been for several years.
Yeah, well, it's sort of a short-term nature. I think they got enough depth for the next couple of years, Jigs, and after that, they've sort of mortgaged the farm on Gretzky, but that's just one of the chances they had to take.
Well, it's not unusual for L.A. to trade draft choices. Only 6 times in 23 seasons have they had a first-round draft pick. The 2 most recent players that they drafted in the first round, they traded. Part of the Gretzky deal. Martin Jelena and Jimmy Carson.
Then again, they've also hit pay dirt on a free agent. Stevie Duchesne, who I think is just really coming into his own. I mean, this kid is playing so well. And then, all of a sudden, a 9th-round pick in Luke Robitaille.
Yeah, they've always had great success. Diamonds in the rough, as former owner Jack Kent Cook used to call them. Much of the credit has to go to the scouting staff and a man by the name of Alex Smart in particular, former Montreal Canadian, who was one of the few early on who hit the Ivy League schools and spent a lot of time at St. Lawrence University. Found some hockey players for them. Kings up 5-0. 37 seconds left in the penalty to Duncanson. Here's a chance for the Red Wings developing, but Fedorko had a little trouble handling the puck. Bernie Fedorko can't find anybody to give it to. Now he goes back to the net. Got it right back from Nhl. Puts one in front, and Klima failed to one-time it. Yzerman gets a stick on it. Turned away from Gretzky. On Klima. To Yzerman. Into Klima. Up them on the perimeter over on the far side. Now it's centered right into the slot. Chase on shot blocked by Rudy. The rebound hit somebody behind Rudy. Allison, I believe. Big break for Kelly Rudy as he tries to protect this 5-0 lead. And the 0, of course, the most important thing. The referee and Gretzky collided on the far side of the ice. And Gretzky has
played this game so long, and oh, jeez. That's for sure.
Wayne's shaken up. Or is he?
He's smiling a little bit there, too. It's sort of a little bit of embarrassment.
We have a little less than 7 minutes to play in the third period. The Kings trying to win for the second time this season. Approaching 1 a.m. on the East Coast. King playing the puck outside the Los Angeles blue line. Right at one of their best attack periods of the night, if you will. An offense there a moment ago. They held the puck in the Los Angeles zone, got set up with several good opportunities. And now they're right back at it again, only this time the play is broken up. Steve Duchesne works his way over center ice. And Hanlon, who replaced Shovelday, midway through the second period, out of the net to play that puck into center. Corey Robertson with a drop pass. Got it right back from Burr. Allison trying to tie up the man. It comes loose at the side of the net. There's Duchesne clearing it. Steve Duchesne showing good balance. And Jay Miller relays it toward the center ice stripe. Los Angeles forced to chase it, but Detroit called for icing the puck. 4 minutes, 38 seconds remaining. Tom Webster, new head coach. It surprised some people, I suppose, when he was named the coach here. There have been several others rumored, including Herb Brooks, to become the coach of the L.A. Kings for 89-90.
Now, Jim,
you know Tom?
Yeah, I know him very well. He's a great guy, and I'm very happy for him. And when I was coaching in New York, Tom was with our coaching staff, running our minor league hockey club, and he's really studied the game. He's got a feel for the game. He's got great people skills, and
I was just going to say, that's one of the things I've always heard about Tommy Webster, his ability to communicate with the young player.
Well, any player, the veteran player, he keeps things in the proper perspective, but he's hungry for the game and his knowledge, and I tell you, he studies, he works at it, but he has to be, you know, you are what you are, too, personality-wise, and you got to be yourself, and he does have that feeling, you know, for the players, and I'm very happy for Tom. And he's going to do a wonderful job here.
Several coaches have agents. Does he, do you know?
Yes, he does, yeah.
Phil Esposito?
Oh, jeez.
No? What? Just inquiring.
Oh, he'd be tough on me tonight.
Well, I'd heard that Phil had negotiated the contract out here. Rumor, Mill has it. Tonelli moves it in, and Hanlon hugging the goalpost, able to make the save off Crowder.
Well, Jigs, maybe. I really don't know. I think Tommy uses somebody else, but
I'm sure he does. Wasn't really being facetious, but that's one of the stories going around. That
so many rumors of the National Hockey League, Jig, it's ridiculous.
Oh, no, it's fun.
Unbelievable. Yeah, I think. And one of the rumors, Jigs, is you spread half of them.
Well, maybe 33 1/3%. I let Stan Fischler handle most of them. Man's made a living off the rumors.
Remember last year, Jigs, we did the opening night here. It's 8-2 Kings over Detroit, and they were flying in. And whatever reason, you know, L.A. has always played well against Detroit in the history of their franchise.
And they continue to do it. They're up by a score of 5-0, and time running down here in the third period at the Great Western Forum. A look at Larry Robinson's uniform, number 19. Got himself a nice contract here in Los Angeles.
It's interesting, his son, he's got a 19-year-old son, Jeff, who's playing baseball at Loyola Marymount here in Los Angeles. They say he's a pretty good baseball player.
Well, he's come to the right area. I'll tell you what, if you want to hone the baseball skills, you can do it 12 months of the year here, no problem. Plus, you've got so many scouts, bird dogs, in every game. Allison moves it around the boards in his own territory. Robinson up to Duncanson, out to Duchesne, to Jay Miller. One of the few times Los Angeles has been in that Detroit zone recently. And a fight breaks out here. Jimmy Nhl, and that's Duncanson, I believe. Yes. Pawing at one another. And the fist fly. Well, this is an area of Duncanson's game that a lot of people have been waiting to see. Jim Nhl and Duncanson now will be pulled apart by Ryan Bozak and Shane Heyer.
You get a young rookie that's trying to get a sweater every night, and he's going to go after somebody. He's going to say, "Coach, look at me." But he's had a good game. Got a goal tonight. He's played very hard every shift out there. Again, they're going to reward some of these young people because they've got to start building a little insulation in this hockey club.
Cap Rader, assistant coach here, was last year, stays on this year. He may be the only, I guess, along with GM Rogie Vachon, the only ones, I guess, with a book on some of the players that have been here in the past. You bring in a new coach, new assistant coach. Assistant coach Rick Wilson up early this morning, up at 4 a.m. to take his son to hockey practice. First practice for the new team up in Burbank. Wasn't sure of the freeway situation, how to get there, so he and his wife Carol tumbled out of bed. Good hockey parents. That's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah, they play a little more hockey here in Southern California than one would, really think. And it's growing all the time. But tonight, Jigs, you look over in the parking lot and those kids are playing, street hockey, and they're on the rollerblades over there. They're doing this and they're doing that.
Look out. Rudy. There's the opportunity that Graves had. Tried to deflect one by him. Yes, the sport has grown in leaps and bounds. The popularity of the game thanks to number 99, Wayne Gretzky. Hanlon scoops up the puck and holds on to it. Here's a look at Rick Wilson.
Jigs, how many years did he spend in Prince Albert? Over the last about 6.
Yeah.
Prior to that with the Montreal Canadiens. Prior to that he matriculated at the University of North Dakota, played there.
Went there as a football player. That's right. There's the former Los Angeles King, New York Islanders. Lewis. Yes, played for the Islanders for some time.
Not too happy right now, but
Sorry.
Excuse me, Jigs, go ahead. But not enough is said. And in reference to the assistant coaches, they just do a heck of a job, and there's a lot of good ones in the National Hockey League. They really pay the price.
Red Wings trying to get something set up here. McKegney rounds the net. Backhanded one that was off the skate and wide, and has been cleared out. And Gretzky chases it down into the Detroit zone. That forces Hanlon to play it. Avoids any icing call. They move it around the boards to O'Connell out into the center right zone. Played back by Laidlaw, but it went right to Huda. His long shot is gloved by Rudy, and he dumps it out of the zone up to Gretzky. No scoring here in the third period, and Gretzky hits the pass to Lindholm. Puts it back to the net. Pavelski is there. To Gretzky. To Lindholm. He's pushed off the puck. And in comes the defenseman Chrysler. Got spun around by Graves. Gretzky tries to put it out in front again. Knocked away. And the Red Wings have cleared it to center ice with 60 seconds remaining in the third period. 5-0. Los Angeles Kings. Gretzky with 3 assists tonight. And Kelly Rudy trying to record his 8th career regular season shutout, his 2nd in a Los Angeles uniform. And the fans sensing it, giving it to Rudy. Racer plays the puck to the Detroit line. Zombo puts it on Torrey Robertson's stick. It's picked up by Barr. He can't go anywhere. Over comes Robertson. Crashing and banging on the boards, and John Tonelli frees it up and moves it up to the right side. Dumped in by Crowder. 15 seconds away from a shutout for Kelly Rudy. The crowd starts to rise. The crescendo builds. Final 5 seconds kickoff. Down to 2. And Kelly Rudy and the LA Kings set out the Detroit Red Wings. Well, there's a young man who got hit hard last night. Mark Messier shook him up. The crowd came back to see how he'd react, and he turns in to 0. A shutout. 5-0 over Detroit.
Well, Jakes, he did, and he had to work for it. That third period, Detroit did just what we thought they'd do. Said, let's give it a good effort in the third period. Let's win this thing. And they made a good effort, and they were just stonewalled by Kelly Rudy, especially on that power play and a few other situations. So this was not an easy 5-0 shutout in the last 20 minutes.
No, when you take a look at the summary, we'll find that Detroit outshot Los Angeles, but could not score. The final score, the Kings over the Red Wings, 5-0. Los Angeles now 2-1 on the season.
So that win leaves Los Angeles in third place in the Wales Conference Smythe Division. They lost to second place Edmonton on Saturday. Last year's champions, the Calgary Flames, are already in first place and 1-1 so far at the Vancouver Canucks, who haven't had a winning season since 1976. The North Stars lead the Norris Division, a good start for a team forecast to finish fourth. Chicago, who are ranked second in the division going into the season, are having a tough start with defeats of the New York Rangers and St. Louis Blues, and the Red Wings are failing to live up to their number one division forecast with their winless record. Well, over in the Wales Conference, the Adams Division is led by last year's second-ranked team, the Canadiens. They've already beaten the Hartford Whalers and the Buffalo Sabres, who are lying second. Third-place Boston scored a victory over Mario Lemieux's Penguins, but lost to fifth-place Quebec. Finally, in the Patrick Division, the Rangers are on top, closely followed by the New Jersey Devils, who've beaten the Flyers and tied the fourth-place Penguins. Third are the Washington Capitals, despite problems in goal. Fifth are the Islanders, who've had 4 Stanley Cup wins this decade, and the Philadelphia Flyers are in 6th. Well, in next week's game, we'll see the Stanley Cup winners, the Calgary Flames, visiting the Flyers, who ranked 10th last season. And watch out for the Flames' star right wing, Joe Mullen, who scored 40 or more goals in 6 consecutive seasons. So, until next Monday at 1900 with a repeat at 2400 hours, goodbye from all of us here at Eurosport.